Welcome everyone in this video. Today we are going to discuss the topic of state legislature in India. So let's start this topic. So first of all, in government, in state government, we are having three organs of the government. One is legislature, one is executive, and one is judiciary. Legislature organ make the laws, and it includes state legislature. Executive organ implement the laws. It includes governor, chief minister, and state council of ministers, etc. Judiciary decide the laws. High court is the top authority in the judicial capacity in the state government. Supreme Court is at the top, but at state level, High Court is the top. Today, in this video, we will be talking about legislature of state. The legislature make laws, and in state there are two houses if it is bicameral legislature. One is Vidhan Sabha, it is also called Legislative Assembly, and other is Vidhan Parishad, it is also called Legislative Council. Let's start. We are going to discuss about state legislature in India. So, what are the importance of state legislature? Number one, state legislature play a central role in governance of a state, just like parliament does at the central level. It is law-making body. It is responsible for making laws, controlling the executive, and representing the people of the state. The most important point is that Article 168 to Article 212 deal with structure, composition, power, procedure, privilege, and duration of state legislature. Let's examine one by one. So first topic that we will be talking is organization of state legislature. In that we will see the first subtopic is unicameral and what is bicameral legislature. Then we will discuss the current status as of recent data. The third topic that we will discuss is governor as a part of legislature. Let's start one by one. The first topic is unicameral and bicameral legislature. So state can have either of these. Some state in India have unicameral legislature and some state in India have bicameral legislature. What is unicameral legislature? If the state is having only one house, that is only legislative assembly, or it is called Vidhan Sabha, then it is called unicameral legislature in that state. If a state is having two houses, that is bicameral legislature, it is called bicameral legislature. In state both houses are present, both legislative assembly and legislative council are present. Here legislative assembly is lower house and legislative council, that is Vidhan Parishad, is upper house. If both the houses are present, then in that state we can say that it is bicameral legislature, and if only one house is there, that is legislative assembly, then we can say this state is having unicameral legislature. What is current status? So, bicameral legislature, there are 6 states in which bicameral legislature exists. Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. These 6 states are there in which we have bicameral legislature. Two houses are there, Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. In remaining 22 states and union territories, we are having unicameral legislature. It means only state legislative assembly present in these states and union territories. So this is the current status. Now let's discuss about the governor as a part of legislature. So in all the states, governor is also considered a part of state legislature. Same thing like president is integral part of parliament. In the same way, governor is also considered a integral part of state legislature. Although governor is not member of either of the house, governor is not member of state legislative assembly, governor also not member of state legislative council. Governor is part of state legislature, but he is not member of either house. Next topic that we are going to see is creation and abolition of legislative council. So Article 169 allow Parliament to create or abolish legislative council in state. It can be done only if the Legislative Assembly of concerned state pass a resolution with special majority. if assembly of that state pass resolution with special majority. Here, special majority means majority of total membership plus two-third of the member present and voting. If the assembly, legislative assembly legislative assembly of concerned state passes with special majority to create or abolish legislative council, then parliament with the help of simple majority do so as per the uh, recommendation of the state legislative assembly in this case. For example, Andhra Pradesh created its council in 1957 and then Andhra Pradesh abolished it in 1985. Then again it revived in 2007. It means state legislative assembly has the power to request to create or abolish legislative council and state legislature are doing that. Next example is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu passed a law to create a council in 2010 but reversed it in 2011, so it was never enforced in Tamil Nadu. Let's look at some case insight. So this power of parliament under Article 169 is not considered constitutional amendment. It is passed like an ordinary law. If parliament by simple majority it is creating legislative council in the state or abolishing legislative council in the state, then it is called ordinary law. It is not constitutional amendment. This was debated in the Constituent Assembly. It was debated and flexibility was preferred due to the cost and political need. And in order to be flexible, this provision was included. Article 169 was included. Now the next topic is composition of the legislature. So first, Vidhan Sabha, composition of legislative assembly. Let's look at legislative assembly. So in that we will see the strength, direct election happening in Vidhan Sabha, lower house of the state legislature. Then we will see the nominated members, then delimitation in constituencies. Then we will see reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So let's look at in legislative assembly in Vidhan Sabha, what is the strength? So minimum strength is 60 and maximum strength is 500. Exceptions are there. Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim and Goa, their population is very low. That is why here minimum 30 is the strength. Mizoram 40 members are the strength and Nagaland we have 46 members. Otherwise in all other states minimum 60 and maximum 500. That is the range. Now let's look at the election of the state legislative assembly. So here we have direct election. Members are directly elected by people through universal adult suffrage. It means anyone who is 18 years or above, he can vote, he or she can vote. Next is nominated member. So here governor can nominate one member from Anglo-Indian community if not adequately represented in the legislative assembly. But now it is discontinued after 104th Amendment 2020. It is discontinued. This practice is no more. Next is delimitation and constituency. So in this dimension, for the election of state legislative assembly, the state is divided into territorial constituency to ensure uniform representation. Delimitation Commission Act was passed in 1952, 1962, then 1972 and 2002 likewise. 84th Amendment Act 2001, it froze the seat until 2026 at 1971 level. 86th Amendment Act 2003, it allowed delimitation based on 2001 census without altering total seats. Now the base is 2001 census. The next topic is reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So here seats for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are reserved in proportion to their population. If their population is more, then more seats are reserved, and if their population are low, then less number of seats are reserved. Originally, it was till 1960 only, but the provision now extended till 1930 by 104th Constitutional Amendment. Next topic is composition of legislative assembly. That no, not legislative assembly. It is composition of legislative council, Vidhan Parishad. So this is wrongly typed. The topic is composition of Legislative Council, that is Upper House, Vidhan Parishad. So, what are the strength? We will look at what are the strength, then indirect election and nomination, and then we will see voting system. Let's look at one by one. The total strength, the range of the strength in the Legislative Council is maximum one third of the Legislative Assembly and minimum 40 members. It is indirect election in the Legislative Council and nomination. So members are not directly elected by public. Which categories of people are there? So one third member in the council by local, they are elected by local bodies, like from election are done by municipalities and panchayats. And 1/12 member out of total 1/12 member are elected by graduate with 3 year residence in that state. The total out of total 1/12 members are elected by teachers which are having minimum secondary school level experience. Out of total one third member are elected by MLA, member of Legislative Assembly, not from among themselves, but they are conducting, they are voting, and the persons are elected. So MLA are votings, and one third members are elected from them. Then next are remaining 1/6 person are nominated by governor, and this nomination coming from experts in literature, science, art, social service, etc. So this is indirect election system. Now what about voting system? So here elections are held using proportional representation with single transferable vote. Governor nomination, governor's nomination cannot be challenged in court in the voting system. Now, what are the duration of the house? So we will see here Legislative Assembly duration of the house and the Legislative Council duration of the house. So first is Legislative Assembly in the state. So like Lok Sabha, here also the term is 5 years. It can be dissolved earlier also on the advice of Chief Minister or on loss of majority in the house, in the lower house, or during President rule under Article 356. So normal term is 5 years. In case of a legislative council in the state, it is a permanent house like Rajya Sabha. One third member retire every second year, and it is not subject to dissolution. No dissolution is there. Only partial retirement are there in the legislative council of the state. Now let's look at some of the case laws and example. In that we will see Kesavananda Bharati case, then Nabam Rebia versus Deputy Speaker case 2016, then Rameshwar Prasad versus Union of India 2006 case. First case is Kesavananda Bharati case 1973. It reaffirmed the basic structure doctrine, and it says that indirectly it emphasized the importance of representative democracy, representative legislature in democracy. It has given, this case has given representative legislature in a democracy utmost importance. Next case is Nabam Rebia versus Deputy Speaker 2016 case. Here Supreme Court ruled that governor cannot summon the assembly without Chief Minister advice. It means it strengthened the autonomy of state legislature. Next case is Rameshwar Prasad versus Union of India 2006 case. In this case, Supreme Court struck down dissolution of Bihar Assembly before its first session, and it asserted that the primacy of Legislative Assembly and floor test to prove the majority. So this was the case. Now summary of entire topic. State legislature is law-making body in the state of the state. Most states have unicameral legislature. Only few states have bicameral legislature. Legislative Assembly is elected directly, and Legislative Council is partly elected and partly nominated. Next, creation or abolition of Legislative Council require resolution by State Assembly and Act of Parliament. The Assembly has term of 5 years, while Council is a permanent body. Constitutional provision balance the representation and expertise through different election modes. Several Supreme Court cases have upheld the autonomy and importance of legislative institutions. So this is the summary of the topic. Now let's look at some of the question. First question, you can give your answer in the comment box. The first question is, consider these articles: Article 168, Article 169, Article 170. Now, which of the above deal with the structure and composition of state legislature? The correct answer is option D. All three are dealing with the structure and composition of state legislature. Next question, which of the following currently have bicameral legislature? The correct answer is, if you see, the correct answer is option B, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Telangana out of these options. So option B is the correct answer. Next question, under which article can legislative council be created or abolished by parliament? So the correct answer is option B, Article 169. Next question, what kind of majority is required in Legislative Assembly to pass a resolution for creation or abolition of Legislative Council? The correct answer is option D, special majority, total membership, two-third member present and voting. So Legislative Council, for the creation or abolition of Legislative Council, the majority which is required in the Legislative Assembly is special majority. And in Parliament, obviously it is simple majority. But here the question is about Legislative Assembly. Special majority is required. Next question, which of the following statement are true about Legislative Assembly? The correct answer here is option D, like members are directly elected. Right answer. Minimum strength 60 except in some smaller state. Yes. Governor can nominate one Anglo-Indian member. That is also correct. So all of these, option D is the correct answer. Next question, which Amendment Act extended freeze on delimitation till 2026? Here the correct answer is option A, 84th Constitutional Amendment Act 2001. So here we are completing our video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much.